I mentioned a moment ago that I saw gas under $3 for the first time in quite some time. Gas down about 40 to 50 cents a gallon from where it was a year ago. It's down a couple of cents from yesterday and a dime from a week ago. So gas is cheaper than it's been, but inflation's down to 2.8% as well. So I figured I needed to talk to RT to figure out what's going on in the oil and gas world. RT Treviño, oil and gas expert, runs Pecos Country Energy, a privately owned oil and gas company in Fort Worth. RT, thank you for being here.
Oh, well, good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day there, Steve.
Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day. Now, the question about green today is greenbacks, as in dollars and cents. Look, to me, the consumer, I run two vehicles, run gas and diesel, and the diesel was at $3.49. Hey, that's no problem for me. My diesel vehicle gets a far better mileage than the gas rig, but gas below $3. So is that good news or bad news when you look at it in context of the overall economy? That's what I want to know. How does it look in the overall context of the economy?
I think it's good news for the overall context. You tell me the last time you ever heard big meat or you ever hear somebody say gas prices are low, that must mean the economy is bad.
I
I've
heard
never
that
heard
yesterday.
that before in my life.
I heard that yesterday from a couple of Democrats. I'm like, really? So gas is affordable again. So it's good for the American family. It's good for the consumer. It's good for, well, look, grocery prices are better when shipping costs are lower and so on and so forth. But apparently, according to the left, this is bad. I actually saw that. What do you make of that?
I think, again, I've said this once before, and I'll say it again. We're living in such an upside down world. I have voted for Donald Trump 3 times in my life. Who would have ever thought I'd voted for the man? And he did an excellent job the first time. The Trump bumps were real in the first 2.5 years of his presidency. And had COVID not come into play, I'm pretty sure we would have continued with the strong economy that he had. Right now, we do have a mantra from our president, which is drill, baby, drill. And if that doesn't get people excited, I don't know what else does. Right now, what we're really looking to do is build a baby build, and we need to update our infrastructure, create more infrastructure, and that's just going to add even more jobs, which guess what? Is going to help the economy out in the future, Steve.
Yeah. All right. So where do you see this going? Seriously. Because I see good things happening.
Well, first of all, we do have 3-year lows in gasoline prices nationally across the national average across the board. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. One reason, though, that the price of oil has dropped, and this is key, is that OPEC has pledged to open up 2 million barrels more of oil per day here going over the next 18 months. So about every month, they're going to be dropping about another 150,000 barrels of oil on the market. So that'll only continue to add to the supply. Now, one thing we also want to watch out for is what President Trump is going to do with Iran and Venezuela. Over the weekend, he had some staunch warnings to Iran. So we'll see if he actually now does some real sanctions and cut out somewhere between 2 to even up to 4 million barrels of oil off the market from places like Iran and Venezuela. So those are things to be watching out for as well.
Sure. But overall, look, one of the things that pushed Donald Trump into the presidency, now, it probably wasn't number one on the list, but it was certainly part of the collection of ideas that pushed him into winning all 7 swing states and so forth, and that is energy policy. Making America the number one powerhouse on the planet. We're the number one producer of oil again today. We have plans to ship LNG to Europe and replace Russia as the supplier of liquefied natural gas to Europe, which I think would be brilliant, by the way. We've got ideas to open up other forms of energy, get rid of these silly windmills, get rid of these silly, solar panel fields that are, I'm sorry, but they're an eyesore. They're a god-awful thing. I drive along the highway of what were beautiful, forests and fields and so forth, and I see these god-awful solar panels. I mean, they're just hideous. And how is that good for the environment, by the way?
I don't know how good it is for the environment. And I have to agree, especially here in Texas and some of the pretty places we have, all of a sudden you just see windmills for miles to go. And it's just like, really, come on. But, with everything that we got, you're absolutely right that this president would definitely campaign on energy first, along with America first. And when we have people like Chris Wright and former governor of North Dakota, Doug Burgum, in places like the Department of Energy and the Department of Interior. Those men know and understand those departments more than anybody else probably ever has that took the job. So we have people that actually have real life experience, really doing their best to help this economy and help energy become number one again here, not only in America, but America energy number one across the world.
Yeah, and so that powers the economy, doesn't it? I mean, you look, if America is number one, and America has built out its infrastructure, and we've got all the things in place, whether it's shipping LNG to Europe or putting LNG down into New York State so that we can power and heat and cool that part of the country, which is a big push right now. They're trying to put a pipeline into New York, right? You've been reading about this, of course, which would lower the cost of heating and cooling a home, they say, by as much as $5,000 a year total for heating and cooling. Could save families $5,000. Why wouldn't you do it?
Well, the environmentalists there is why they're not doing it in the Northeast. They would rather burn things like burning oil and diesel just to keep warm, which guess what is a lot worse for the environment than bringing in a new pipeline with clean burning liquid natural gas. And you talk about America being the powerhouse. Just to let you know, as we came out of World War II, we became the superpower that we are today. Texas alone provided 25% of the oil needed to our allied troops during that time. Then let's talk about the fact that we are the first ones, good, bad, or indifferent, that created nuclear power. And with those two things, oil and nuclear, that is now what's taken us to be the superpower that we are today. And that's what President Trump understands, is that we need more oil and more nuclear to continue to be the world power that we are today.
Absolutely true. Where do you see the markets going today or for the next couple of years? Donald Trump's obviously going to continue to focus on energy. He's going to continue to invest in American resources. He's going to open up opportunities for American companies to explore and find and secure energy for this country going forward. What's the long term? What do you think? I'll give you the last word.
Oh, thank you. No, I think we're going to continue to do nothing more but drill, baby, drill. That's what we're going to be doing at Pecos, is continuing to drill new oil wells across the great state of Texas. And here in America, we will continue to add oil. And let's not forget that at some point we will have to fill up the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And this will be the president to fill it back up, which also means that will take oil off the market, which will then we'll see the price go up. But again, I do think we will be averaging that $75 oil here, especially over the next several years. We'll probably see another dip, of course, and then we will see it come back up. But right now, the market is uncertain. But you know what? If you believe in God and Jesus like I do, then you've got nothing to fear in the future. So we'll just see what happens here over the next couple of months, and just be ready, folks, because I do think the economy is going to be a great place in the future.
Well, I hope you're right, RT. I think you're right. I think it's going to be a pretty good ride with Donald Trump. Keep the faith, as they say. RT Treviño,
There you go.
always greatly appreciate you, sir. Thank you. There you have it. All right, still to come today on the program. Coming in the next hour, we've got a candidate in, by the way, for the governor's position in Michigan, running for that. And I've got a list of the first 7 in to run for president of the United States from the Democrat side. I'm going to share that list with you. I know you know some of them. Some of them, you're like, really? That person's going to run? Apparently. All right, I'll take a break and be right back.